Okay, bug spray. Just sprayed bug spray on myself. I'm gonna be hardcore and we're gonna go take a look at the trail that I've got to cut, the moving forward progress. And you know what? I have reviewed some of the weeks going by, like week 37, week 38. I think I've hit week 39 because there's some great speeches there and just great content. Like, for example, I was picking up garbage along the frontage of my road here, and the beer cans I picked up and the comments I was making, and you know, about the city idiots that are so stressed from the job that they hate that they've got to drink and drive on the way up to their cottage in the country here, the beautiful country. I finished cleaning up the garbage around the frontage, and it's like all beer cans, Bud Light Lime, Pabst Blue Ribbon, Carling, and then who's the superstar pounding back canned Caesars? Yeah, it's all the city idiots, the cottagers on their way up, drinking on their way up, and then tossing their cans out the side of the road. Like, these cottages all have garbage. They're just too lazy to go to the dump to get rid of it. And they just throw their cans and bottles out the window. Just no regard. Oh, look at this huge frontage. Nobody lives here. Toss. Yeah, somebody lives here. And even if someone didn't live here, like, just don't throw garbage on the side of the road out the car window. Come on. Citiots. Okay, let's go. Let's continue. Let's go. So, here's the path. I mean, there's the trailer. And here we go. This is where I gotta get to into the forest. And already, I've got a tree to contend with. Look at this. Look at this. I have to do something about it because it's right up past my shoulder and I got to bring materials this way. So it's a tree that fell. You can see that it's split right there. Real nasty. And it's just fallen right across all the way. So we got to duck down under that. And what do I got to do? Like this right here, I've got to look, see how it's cutting over the trail? You got to cut that. Otherwise, Tick City. You know, I got some rocks and that's okay. I'm fine with that. A couple fallen logs that you just step over, or you know, it's not too bad. I'm okay with that. So the trail's not too bad, but there are parts you've got to maintain. So I've got some of the balsams coming out here. I've got this plant overhead. Got to duck under. Got this guy just completely, you know, I gotta walk around here, but that's just asking for ticks. This guy too can go. Got to cut that. So here we go. This is all familiar. Good old outhouse, and then behind me, good old tent pad, and tons of deer flies. At least I guess the mosquitoes are at bay. Look at, I got all these branches that I got to pick up, and you do have to pick them up. You just can't leave them there. You want a nice, clean, open trail to come back and forth on. This tree has fallen. Got to take care of this guy and this whole mess here. There's one of my small brush piles. So got to bust out the chainsaw and the gloves and the bug spray and the bug hat, the music, and get out here and working. Another tree fallen. Got to cut all that up, toss it to the side, and eventually burn it all, or I don't know. I got all these green plants to take care of. Look at this. Look at this beautiful birch. So this was a landmark for me. This birch here, I have another trail going up this way, which then goes to the creek over the ridge there, and that's where I've shot a lot of content. It's extremely beautiful over this ridge and where the creek is. And this is the birch which told me to make that hard left to go up this way. So I gotta process this birch. I mean, some of it I have to, not all of it, because I can get under it. Let's just navigate around here. It's always got to watch out for ticks and watch out from snagging yourself. So I can maybe leave it, but it's also a very beautiful specimen here that I can cut up and maybe try and do something with, right? Get that woodpreneur side hustle going where I build stuff out of the wood from my forest. So more trees here that have bit the dust, probably from storm damage, or it was just their time, but this is big. All of this to clean up. Look, you can see my previous work from the summer of 2023. Yeah, summer of 2023 I was here, and it's 2 years later. My, how life is busy and things happen, and you know, look guys, if you had to leave your 9-to-5 job and do whatever it is you want to do in life, would you still go at the breakneck pace of the rat race? Or would you just give yourself a little leniency and a little break and move at a more comfortable pace without like killing yourself, right? It's easy to move at a faster pace when it's doing something you want to do, as I'm doing out here. But at the same time, I don't need to kill it like a 9-to-5, because there's no boss breathing down my neck all the live long day, right? So here we go. So many more trees to cut down or to process. Fallen trees to process, and oh boy, are the flies just crazy. Oh my god. So let's just be quick here. They're everywhere, and I'm the rookie, 3 years in the forest, coming out here with a bug hat. Are you kidding? Who's dumb? This guy. Wow. Guys, you're not seeing it, but it's terrible. These guys they're triangular flies that just buzz the tower over and over. So here's the cabin site. Let's get a quick look at it. This is where I gotta come and clear out all the fallen trees, and pretty much every single tree you see standing here and here, they have to come down. There's, just estimating it, there's at least 50, but a lot of them are small, right? A lot of them are small. They've got a lean on them, so it'd be pretty easy to know which way to take down. Some of them are big, but a lot of them are small. I gotta open up this canopy so I can get some solar light, some sunshine, because it's just gonna be beautiful here to really open this up. I've got another birch, so that guy's gonna stay. I think I'm gonna keep this tree, this single tree here, just because I've used it for my cameras, and it's pointing right at my cabin site here. So like the footage that's on this camera that's raw is gonna be amazing. And the whole creek line runs all there. So I gotta ask myself, do I wanna clear the trees at the creek line so I get a beautiful view of the creek and then the softwoods on the other side? Do I wanna do that? Did I just answer my own question? The reason why I'm hesitant of it is because once you've taken down trees that have grown for decades, you can't put them back. You can't put them back. So, and I got what I asked for. I wanted to start with I said to myself, you know, ideally you want to get a piece of land with pasture or fields or a driveway built or a clearing already put in place. You want that, and then forest, and then you can start cutting trees back as you see fit. But if you started off with all pasture, which is out there, there's lots of property where it's just fields. Well, it's going to take you decades to get the forest that you want, if you can even get it, and if you're even going to be there that long. So I said, okay, if I start off with a piece of land that's all trees, then it's up to me to make the clearing. And so I'll have as many trees as I want, and I can make a field and pasture as big as I want, or as small as I want, or just the size that I need it to be. And that's what I'm going to do. There was already grass growing at that site. When I bought this land and just started hiking it and started surveying it and seeing where I can build and where it's beautiful, and I came upon that site, there's a couple of eastern white pines there. I think there might be a red pine. I got a couple spruce. There's a birch. So its cabin can be tucked beautifully under just a few softwoods. Clear out the rest of everything else. Beautiful sunshine will come in. Cat can run around. I can throw a football. I can throw a frisbee. It'd be really nice to get a cement pad there so I can just start doing some slap shots and just ripping pucks on my net, right? Whew. Back to civilization of sorts. That is crazy. Look, guys, if you're gonna be out here in the woods, you got to get yourself a screened-in porch. This is nuts. I've always known this. every year, gullible me thinks, maybe this year won't be as bad. And it ends up being worse. Man, but it gets a little bit easier each year to deal with it. It still sucks hard. That's why you gotta embrace the 4 seasons. Yay, it's not minus 20 out right now. It's brilliant and beautiful. But there's tons of bugs. And then when winter comes, when it is minus 20 out, you're free. You're like so free. It's only cold, that's it. I mean, there's limited amount of things you can do because the snow's around, but yeah, take the good with the bad. So what's the best month? September, November, October. Fall is beautiful, baby. Beautiful warm days, no bugs, and cool evenings, man. That's it, straight good. So let's just sign off here for the moment. Later. Hey, guess who has a summer cold? This guy over here. So I don't know, I woke up with a sore throat a couple nights ago and slight headache. Well, no, not so much of a slight headache, just dizziness actually. Been experiencing that for about a week. Not the best. But yeah, it's July 2nd today, and I went into town to celebrate Canada Day, and it was great, our Independence Day here, and saw some fireworks. So I'll add that in to the end of the video, or at some point I'll add some fireworks in. I went there by myself, and it was good. It was good to see it was the first time I went to a major community gathering like that up here in the country, I think, something like that. So I went there by myself, and there was, it seemed like maybe a couple thousand people. There was a lot of people there, and this is like a first experience for me. I got to be a part of this community, right? Everyone comes from all around the county to this one location at the fairgrounds, and it was just amazing to see, hear all the kids playing, and there were lots of people tailgating, people with sparklers, people throwing frisbee, like people running around, teenagers all gathering and just like enjoying summer, right? They're out of school, it's Canada Day, so it was just a real happy experience to be there, albeit it was alone. And I've shared moments like that not alone, like either with friends or family or a girlfriend, and it's fantastic to always share moments like that with people. But I was around people, which was good, and I gotta tell you, like, when you see fireworks in person, no matter how old you are or how young you are, it's just magnificent. You can't help but look up and just, for the big pops, just be like, whoa. And you hear all the little kids just like hollering and screaming, and they're just in amazement. And people clap at certain like finales and stuff like that. People clap and cheer. So it was really cool experiencing that. What I'm going to do is start clearing this path. So this is going to be work going towards the cabin. So what I mean by that is I've been here 3 years, and now I'm doing work directly related to building a cabin, clearing a path to the cabin, then taking down all those trees and finding mowing the whole area down, and finding settling my foundation site where I'm going to actually stick the cabin. I kind of know where I want to, but once you take the trees down, then you'll get a better idea. So that's what we're going to do. Got to take this chair with me. Whew. I tell you, you know what? That winter of chopping wood, I got tennis elbow in this elbow here. And it was all due to my technique of chopping wood. So my follow through, I'd have a follow through with my axe, and to keep the axe from like swinging too far back, you use your arms, your muscles to swing that pendulum back. And some of the muscles you're using is that tendon there. Oh boy. So I still feel it. I try not to use it, and I've adjusted my chopping technique to let gravity and the weight of the axe head do the work. Also, I don't need as many smaller pieces anymore. I've increased my fire game even more. So, you know, just get your little bit of kindling in there and make sure your wood's dry, and you can put these bigger, way bigger pieces in there with just a few smaller ones, and it's magic, right? The other trick too is, I mean, don't really ever let your fire go out. Once you get the nice bed of coals in there, it's just awesome. So, and that stove, you know what? It's not efficient. It's not like a beautiful pedestal stove, nice glass door, airtight. So that's what I'm gonna have, because that's not efficient. I just go through a lot of wood. I actually recorded how many face cords I bought last winter. So I'm gonna have a good idea of what to buy this winter. And then going forward, I'm gonna have a great idea of how much I need to process every winter. And I've got a lot of wood around here to process. You know, when they cleared this space out, there's a lot of log piles. The guy running the 30-ton excavator said, do you have campfires? Do you burn wood? I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, we're not gonna cart this hardwood away. We'll stack it for you. I'm like, cool. So I've got a lot of logs that are just sitting here that are ready to be processed further, right? So from what I've been reading is you just can't just chop a tree down and leave it in a log format. You've got to cut that up and help it dry that way. So I mean, the ends will be nice, but in the middle it's just going to take too long. So I just have too many things to do around here to be messing with logs, right? And I do want to get to that point, but I'm just pushing forward for comfort. That's what I want, right? I want a nice bed, a nice view. I want to see the stars. I want that cabin. I want that smell. I want those luxury, high-end fixtures, right? And interior materials, because it's good. I'm anticipating it's gonna be 20 by 20. Such a small footprint, right? So you can make that luxurious versus like a 5,000 square foot mansion. That'd be expensive. So I want nice finishing touches, and once that's all awesome, then you can let your life start to get into the routines and the lifestyle you want. And yeah, so some people say, you know, do that now while you're going, right? Do that now while you're going. I'm doing a lot as it is. Forest can wear you down, man. You can only be natural for so long. Now, am I the only one that knows it's okay to yell at your animals, your pets? And that's part of pet ownership, is to yell at your animals every now and then? Like, I love my cat, but she's an ass. She's a bitch. You know, every time she comes into the trailer there, when I let her out, let her back in, she always comes in with bluster. Meow, 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 just like meowing her face off. Sorry, I'm ripping beats, so kind of loud. And take off. When you rip beats, you no longer hear that buzzing. So there we go. Today's tools, and let's clear some path. Here we go. Oh boy. All right. Good for you. Oh. Oh. Ma Baker, she taught all her sons, Ma Baker, to handle their guns, Ma. So yeah, as I was saying, it's okay to yell at your pets every now and then. It's not that you don't love them, it's because you do, and they get to you. And, you know, sometimes you feel bad afterwards. And I always tell myself, look, it could be worse. She could be sick. She could be unhealthy. And she has been sick and unhealthy before. So I think she's got second stage kidney disease. So she really has to drink a lot of water. And she used to have bladder crystals. And she's good there. I've got her diet down pat real good. So no more bladder crystals. I mean, we take that for granted. Going number 1 and number 2. We take that for granted. To be able to eat food, digest it without issue, without pain and suffering, or a medical condition, or a disease you may have, right? Take Crohn's disease or irritable bowel syndrome. So it's a real blessing to be able to have food, eat it, digest it, and then excrete it safely and without problems, because there are people with problems there, and it's terrible. I feel for you guys, right? And I try to appreciate my health in the moment, so I appreciate my cat's health and my health. And the beats that are just ripping, man. Oh, so is anyone going to tell me about my brush pile here and how it's tinder for a forest fire and it's unsafe? Because, you know, Wild Homestead, his viewers say that to him, like, hey, James, you should clear those brush piles. That's just tinder for your forest to go up in flames. That's okay. You guys don't have to say anything about that. I'm cool with that. I will take care of that. What blows my mind is, in all my videos, with the tent over there, my tent pad, nobody mentioned Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Nobody mentioned it. And it's in so many of my videos. That's a great movie. I watched Ferris Bueller's Day Off over here. Oh no, maybe it was in the trailer. But you watch that shit off grid and you're just chilling, right? I'm doing my own version of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's Ferris Bueller's Career Off is what I'm doing. Yeah. I'm teasing, guys. I'm teasing. Ugh. Nature, eh? Even if there was a forest fire from that tinder, the forest would recover. Why? Look at this. Here's the first cut I made probably last year, and then 2 more shoots just decided to come out. So look at these guys. More shoots coming out, so forest will recover. She's all good. Let's go. Oh, see ya. Oh, so long. I'm just imitating Ross from Friends. That pretty much clears to the junction here. Tent pad, outhouse, and down towards the cabin site. So I've got all here, which is this junction to my driveway and then trailer. So pretty much cleared this, and we'll continue on this way. So check this out. I'm clearing trail, and this is the trail towards my first driveway. It's just a real nub of a driveway way down there. 250 steps to be precise. And I just have to abandon this. I can't maintain it. That's a lot to maintain for a driveway I'm no longer using. And that driveway itself needs maintenance. It's like completely overgrown. It needs mowing, it needs weeding, it just needs maintaining. Same with this path here. You see all the trees that are in the way. There's many other places on the path that's exactly like that. So, just gonna have to let this go, and maybe, you know, if I have friends that want to camp on the first site way down there and park there and get that rustic feeling, they can, and I'll help them clean up, and they'll get that feeling of what it was like when I first came here, essentially, right? Raw, untouched land, and I had to clear it myself. I had to determine a path and clear it. So yeah, I've got an authentic experience waiting for one of my friends or family. Maybe I'll make an Airbnb out of it. Nice glamping spot. Anyways, so this is the path I'm really going to have to maintain. And what I'm going to do is everything that needs a chainsaw, I'm just going to do that on one day. I'm going to clear the path all the way down to the cabin site and leave all the big fallen trees. And I'll just come through with a chainsaw and clear them all in one shot. So here's the progress I'm at. I've got a couple fallen trees and lots of deer flies around. But yeah, this is where I am. I'm probably another 60% down that way compared to that way. So yeah, another 66% actually. Maybe I'm just a third of the way through. Oh, look at all the opportunities for ticks. Upsy daisy. Woo! You really got to be careful with dragging things like that through the forest. Give yourself a tick check afterwards. Woo. I'm gassed. Like I said, I also got like a small cold. Oh, just sneezing and blowing my nose. Whew. Life in the forest. If a branch on your path needs moving, you gotta move it. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna go sit down and have a drink or something. Day 2 of being sick here in the summer. It happens. I don't mind it. You know, you go to bed feeling better. You're like, oh, wow, maybe that's just bad for a day or two. And then you wake up feeling a little worse. You're like, oh, okay, this sucks. Unrelated to being sick, I'm slow. Like, my progress is slow. It's something I've always wanted to get better at since being here on this property, doing what I'm doing. But it doesn't mean I'm not a hard worker. I work hard. I see my projects and goals through. I do the physical hard work, and I do the mental hard work as well. I'm just slow sometimes. Maybe I'm savoring life in between. Oh, forgot to spray bug spray. Anyways, look at these trees that have bent. They're being held down by another fallen tree, and they're just ready to like whiplash. There's a bunch of them around. Look, there's another one there. I think I tried to fix it. I like whipped it back. Let's go get bug spray. And yeah, sometimes you have those bursts where you have a few weeks of just really killing yourself. So what do they call that? Great periods of work, which is then followed by great periods of rest, or the thinking stage, which I'd recently learned from another YouTuber, how there's a thinking stage where not much is getting done. Doesn't seem like you're moving forward, but you have to think about your moves and your strategies and your life and your plans, you know, your short-term and long-term plans. So with that said, one of my goals is to do morning meditation right here. How beautiful would it be to wake up every morning and have a meditation here? This is something I've always wanted to do in my life, is to meditate and have more inner peace, I guess. And still hasn't happened. So it's not that I'm lazy or not hardworking. Maybe I procrastinate. Seems like a bad word. I'd rather say I put things off, but they're never out of mind. Yeah. Check out the nest up here. I wonder if there's anything inside. We'll have to see. So, the other goal I had for myself is to always have breakfast in the morning. Like, make it. I always have breakfast, but, you know, to take your time in making it and never feel rushed. Having worked a rat race, breakfast was always rushed. You know, you heat something up in the microwave and out in the car you go, driving to work, eating your breakfast. Or you'd wait till you get to work and go to the cafeteria or go to the Timmy's or something like that, right? Take a walk for a mid-morning break and get your breakfast then. Gets you by, and it's a lot of people do it, but I always had visions of waking up and having a nice leisurely breakfast, a healthy one. And it's just, you know, where you take your time and you make it, you have it, you don't rush to eat, maybe read something while you're having breakfast, wash up, and then, you know, get ready to go for work. Or in my case now, which I hope, is to get ready to work. Not go to work, get ready to work. I love working out here. I love all the projects I'm doing out here. And as a side note, I got to really kill it on this YouTube because, and killing it means 100,000 subscribers. That is it. That is it. And those people are out there. There's lots of creators out there that are just between 50 and 100 where they're making enough money on YouTube to live their life. So I think 100 would be good because I still have to continue to develop this place and, you know, more outbuildings and just get it really good. Like, you see these trails here? They gotta be wood chipped. Like, they gotta be wood chipped. And with all these other players out there getting heavy machinery or light machinery, whatever, like, I'd love to get a mini excavator in here and to like flatten that down, because it'd be nice to have an ATV at some point, wouldn't it? Right? Where I don't have to do a big ass walk to my cabin, especially in winter or days like today. Like, it'd be nice to really open the trail up there, or have a snowmobile, right? Because I'm gonna have to lug groceries that whole distance. So I gotta really kill it, primarily because I don't want to go back to a boss or a conventional job. I don't. I'm in the unique position of having had that life, and now that I'm doing my own thing, I've seen how life transforms. And for those of you who've just always worked a full-time job, some may say like, oh, wow, you're so lucky. You get to just decide you don't want to go back to the jobs that we're all slumming it at. Yeah, I get to decide that. You guys get to decide that too. Anyone does. We all have the freedom as human beings to walk away from our life. You see this direction there? Yeah, I have the freedom to just keep walking that direction and never come back. Like, nothing's stopping me. Now, I'm going to have a hard time surviving. Yeah, sure, right? But the freedom is there. The freedom is there to just, or you could even be more modern about it and just get on an airplane, go to another city, and that's it. There you are. That's your life now, right? So yeah, I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back because this is way too much fun. And this is way too much, it's like exciting, it's motivating. It gives me purpose and meaning. When I talk to my mom and my brother about YouTube and off-grid life, I never spoke about my corporate career the way I speak about this life. Never. And the accomplishments I'm achieving here and with YouTube, I never created anything as great in my corporate life. I mean, you can argue, oh wow, you designed that report from scratch. Yeah, I designed a report from scratch that's automated. Yay. That was for my company, not for me. This is all for me, right? So I don't want to go back. and I got to try and kill it on here. So thank you all for being here and supporting me. But yeah, so I've always imagined those leisurely breakfasts. Imagine, like my cabin all the way down there when that time comes. It's a snowy morning. And you get up and it's cold. You get that fire going. Your cabin's toasty. And you're looking out the window where snow has gathered on the sides. So it's got that beautiful, it's winter. And you make yourself a breakfast. And I've got my cast iron pan and skillet game up to speed. It's got to go higher, but I'm not too bad. Like making an egg and not having it stick. That's one of the greatest tests. And I love it. Love my cast iron skillet. So imagine having that breakfast. You make a nice hearty, healthy breakfast, and you sit at your table and you're eating it. You're hearing the fire crackle, and maybe you got some Christmas music playing, or just some morning talk show playing on the radio, and you're just listening to it. And you maybe have a newspaper. That's another thing, guys. The local newspaper when you're out in the country matters. Like it's cool. People advertise there. Individual names are there, like community members. My newspaper does a piece of someone who's a transplant to the community, like someone who's from another part of the province or country, and now they're here in my county. The newspaper will do an interview with them about their life before and how they got here and how they feel about being here. I'd be a shoo-in for that, but I haven't contacted them, and I don't think I will. Kind of just want to stay a little anonymous for time being. But that's the newspaper, and I've read other people's stories and why they've left their life in the city to come up here, and it was what I felt. Most people believe that, when you retire, that's when you get the toys, right? That's when you get the beautiful retirement property. You get to live out by a lake and dangle your feet on a dock. The thing is, though, you're 65. You're not 45, where you can maybe just bust out a kayak and a jet ski and just go for a rip. Not that you can't do that at 65, but let's be real. When you're 65 and you're finally at that dock, you're going to say to yourself, I wish I got this 10 years earlier, if not more, 15 years earlier. I should have been 50 years old when I had this waterfront property. I could have worked another 15 years, could have found a way to make it work and live this life. Why are we putting off the amazing things in life until this certain time when you can be living it now, and when there's other people already living it now? So yeah, okay, we'll end the speech there for now, because I could just keep going on. What's next is, so I brought my weapons of choice, and it's time to continue forging down the way there. And I'm gonna rip some beats and get some work done. So look at that guy. Wow. So this is the tree that got messed up. The ice storm made it bend over like this, and I tried bringing it back, but let's give her a go. Oh. Oh, you know what? Am I being a rookie by playing with a tree like that and trying to push it back up when there's some shit that can fall on me? Because the way I got my tick bite was I was in Crocs without socks, and I just got down on my hands and knees on the forest floor here sawing a log. I was such a rookie. Am I being a rookie by doing that as well? I hope not. Let's save this tree right here. Here it is. It's pinned under this birch. Here we go. Nice. Now time to take out these little plants. I can actually pull them out pretty nicely, so just clearing the path here still. Man, there's a lot. This isn't the glamorous part. When there's just way too many little twigs to pick up, start doing wrist shots. I used to, back in the day, pile everything up, but there is just so much work to be done here that you can't just pick up all these little branches and keep walking them to piles. So I thought I would bust out the rake. Now the reason why I just don't rake the entire path is because once you remove the leaf litter, that gets muddy when it rains, and not the best. So here's my one spruce, and there's my second spruce. I got two of them right here. It's really nice. It'd actually be perfect to hang a hammock in between both of them here and swing away, but not during this time of the year. Wow, raking makes a big difference. I was just trying to be neat, right? Because I just don't want wood all over my property, like fallen branches all over my property, but you can't avoid it. Even where I didn't throw branches, there are branches. Like, you just walk any direction, you're gonna find branches on the floor. So what I'm doing now is I'm just clearing everything to the side and not worrying about piling it up. But I've gotten to the point now where I gotta really bust out the chainsaw. This is just a little too heavy for me to drag by myself without cutting it up. Once I cut it up, it'll be okay to move. You know, some things I can move, but I've been working for a few hours. Like, look at all this. This has to be all even here. I gotta process this and start tossing it to the side. So I think I might shut down for the day, because the cabin site is right here, right where you see all this grass growing. That's kind of why I picked here. I'm like, wow, there's natural grasses growing here. So I'm just about at the cabin site. I think there's probably some more branches I can clean up along this path here. I think I will, and then I think tomorrow I'll try and come back with a chainsaw for this stuff here. Shutting down for the day. I made it to the cabin site. Let's take a quick look. So here's the ridge of rocks, which kind of signifies the beginning of my cabin site. And there we go. So all over there, these grasses here, I got all these trees to take down. Open the sky up, get some solar energy, solar power, and some sunshine for the health. Feel happy with the sun shining in here. And to the future woman, You're gonna be able to suntan naked here. I know you want to. They all do. So, yep. And once all these trees are taken down, then I'm not gonna have too many branches to pick up because there won't be trees for branches to fall. So it'll, you know, once the trees come down, the work I put towards clearing it and taking the branches up will be worth it because I won't have to do it again. And that's what I like about this kind of work versus a job, a career, right? Like, however hard I work on my property, I will see the results of that hard work. Now, in a job where you have an employer and coworkers in a hierarchy system, that's not always true. You can work hard, but you just don't get the break. You don't get the promotion. You don't see the benefit or reward of your hard work. But, you know, some of this stuff out here you can dread because it's just so daunting. You got so much to do and you're just one person. But in 2 days, I cleared the path from my trailer to my cabin site. In 2 or 3 days, I did that. Now, I still have chainsawing to do, so give it a week and I'll have a really beautiful clear path here. So 5 working days. Not business days, because there's no business here. I mean, YouTube's a business, but I want to try and keep it personal. But I'm working out here, happily. And yeah, so I just wanted to say that you can see the benefit of your hard work out here. Whereas in other aspects of life or career, you may not see the benefits of your hard work. So I love that principle. That really goes for life too. Like, let's say you want to lose weight, as I do. I mean, we all want to have better bodies and have better health. That's always a lifelong pursuit for me. I spoke about doing morning meditation. I spoke about having non-rush breakfasts. I want that. I have a fairly balanced diet. I do love my fruits and vegetables. But we can always do better. I'm terrible at eating late at night and eating snacks late at night or getting up in the middle of the night. And I gotta correct that about myself. Sorry for yelling, just ripping beats again. Okay, I'm gonna wrap up here and shut down for the day.